Hi friends, in this video we see the questions which have been asked in ISRO 2013 exam in the subjects of EMF, TLW and antenna. The first question is, the divergence of a magnetic intensity is. We know that magnetic field will not diverge. It will always rotate or it has only curl. So the divergence of magnetic field intensity is 0. So option C is the correct answer. Next one, a transmission line having characteristic impedance of 50 ohm has to deliver 10 kilowatt power at 100 Hz to a load. Maximum permissible value of RMS current anywhere along the line is 20 ampere. What is the maximum VSWR that can be tolerated on this line? So here what are the data they have given? They have given characteristics impedance Z0 is equal to 50 ohm and power deliver is 10 kilowatt. RMS current IRMS that is equal to 20 ampere and frequency 100 kilohertz. So 100 K. This is what they have given and they ask how much VSWR the line can tolerate. So we want VSWR. VSWR is equal to 1 plus gamma divided by 1 minus gamma and that's what we have to find. And gamma is ZL minus Z0 divided by ZL plus Z0. So what we have, we are having Z0 but we don't have ZL. So load impedance we have to find. So how can we find? We know the power delivered. Power delivered to the load is I squared ZL. P is 10 kilowatt. So 10 into 10 power 3. I they have given 20. So I squared is 20 squared. That is equal to ZL. This implies ZL is equal to 25. So now we got ZL and Z0. So from this gamma we get is ZL minus Z0 divided by ZL plus Z0. So ZL minus Z0 50, ZL 25 plus Z0 50. If you simplify, it will be minus 1 by 3. This is what your gamma. Mod, so this is gamma. Mod gamma is plus 1 by 3. So if we substitute S is equal to 1 plus gamma divided by 1 minus gamma, it will be 2. So the answer is 2. Please remember it is gamma only. Mod gamma is plus 1 by 3. That only you have to substitute in VSWR formula. 1 plus gamma divided by 1 minus gamma. So the answer is option A. It is 2. Next one. For broadside antenna array, the largest possible spacing between the antenna elements without grating lobes. So we must know what is the largest spacing between the. So we know that grating lobes is a lobe other than main beam where maximum radiation occurs, right? So or a beam with here the difference should be always the spacing must be less than or equal to lambda, right? So then only we can have a something without a grating lobe, right? So for broadside antenna array, the largest possible spacing between the antenna elements without a grating lobe is we should have a space between the array element which must be less than or equal to the lambda. So grating lobe is a lobe where we will have a maxima other than main lobe, right? So that is what we have to know. So the answer is option B. The spacing must be less than or equal to lambda. Next, at cutoff frequency, the phase velocity of a waveguide. So we know that phase velocity formulas are Vp is equal to C by root of 1 minus Fc by F naught. So at cutoff frequency, so f naught becomes fc. So when f naught becomes fc, this will become 1. So 1 minus 1 0, vp becomes infinity. So the answer is option B. Electric field and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other in, it's a direct question, the answer is klystron. Next one, the electric field measured in the far field of an antenna at a distance of 50 meter is 1 volt per meter. The average power density at a distance of 500 meter from the antenna. So this question they have asked already, I think, right? So they have given at 50 meter from antenna, E is 1 volt per meter. What is P at 500 meter? This is what they asked. So this is simplest logical way we will do it. So we know that electric field is 1 volt per meter, where at 50 meter. What is the electric field at 500 meter? Right? So we know that E is inversely proportional to R squared, right? E is equal to Q pi 4 pi epsilon naught R squared. So when distance increases, electric field will decrease. So at 50 meter, electric field is 1 volt per meter, means at 500 meter, what is the electric field? It will be 50 by 500, right? So that is 0.1 volt per meter, right? Otherwise, you find by simplifying the formula also you can get the answer, but it is simplest one. How? If it is increasing, we can go by 500 by 50, but electric field is inversely proportional to R, so we can go to inverse formula. So at 50 meter it is 1 volt per meter, means at 500 it is going by 10 times reduced, so it is 0.1 volt per meter. So 0.1 volt per meter means what is the power at 500 meter? P is equal to E squared by 2 eta. E is, we know, that is 0.1 square, 2 into eta is 120 or 377. If you simplify, what you get is 13.26 into 10 power minus 5. So the answer is 10 power minus 6, right? So it is 13.26. So 13.26 is nothing but 13.3 microwatt per meter square. So the option D is the right answer. Next one, a certain antenna with the efficiency of 95% has maximum radiation intensity of 0.5 watt per steradian. The directivity of the antenna fed by input power of 0.4. What they have given? Maximum eta, they have given efficiency 0.95, 95%. Maximum radiation intensity U max is equal to 0.5. This they have given. What they ask is D, directivity of the antenna. So we have to find. So what is directivity? Directivity or gain is equal to eta D. Eta they have given, but G we don't know, and we have to find D. So from the given data, what we can do, we have one formula for G, that is equal to 4 pi U max, maximum radiation intensity, divided by Pn, right? So U max they have given maximum radiation intensity, so G is equal to 4 pi into 0.5. Pn they have given, yes, power input is 0.4. So that is giving G is equal to 5 pi, right? 4 by 0.4, 10 into 0.5, 5 pi. So G we got, eta we know. From this we can find D is equal to G by eta. Eta is nothing but 95%. 5 pi by 0.95. It is 165.3. Right? So the answer, sorry, 16.53. So the answer is option A. Right? So, sorry, here on 16.53. 5 pi by 0.95. So, next question. The disadvantage of a single step matching is, we know that single step matching is suitable for fixed impedance at microwave frequency, but not suitable for variable impedance. So, a change in load impedance lead to change in length and the location of the stub. So that is the biggest problem. So here every load needs a new stub position. That is the biggest disadvantage of single stub matching. That's all about this session. The next part will continue. Remaining questions we will continue in the second part. Thank you.